Guys, I'm back. Oh yeah. How long has it been? It's been like a month, something like that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Along the lines of that. I'm back from disappearing per usual, and I'm here to bring you a Spider-Man brand new day trailer breakdown. Okay. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna admit this is my fifth time recording this video, so I'm a little bit gassed out. Whoa, 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 whoa! I just okay. Yeah, I have my microphone on. My energy is not the best. You know, yeah. I don't know how my patience is gonna do in this video because I am, like I said, a little bit tired. My energy is going a little bit crazy. 'Cause, like I said, for like the fifth time, I've had to record this video 5 times. So I'm going a little bit crazy. But, but, like at this point, I already know the trailer, like from the back of my head. At this point, like I know everything. But I am here. I am here. Now, I don't think I've ever mentioned this before in the past videos and all that, but I am a humongous Spider-Man fan. Ever since I was a kid, I've seen the '90s show. I've seen Spectacular Spider-Man, which was more of my generation and all that. Um, I saw Ultimate Spider-Man, as in the show. Well, I've seen the comics too, which when I was a kid I thought it was cool because I was a kid. Now that I'm a little bit older, it's like, oh, that was actually pretty shit. Um, let's see what else. I played the video games, bought a whole bunch of merch, action figures, shirts, hoodies, coloring books, you name it. I most likely had it, and I did have like a Spider-Man suit at one point. I have no idea where it's at. If I do find it, I'll post like a picture or something like within the video. And if you don't see it, it's because I didn't find it. But I'm a humongous Spider-Man fan. Not only is he my favorite superhero of all time, he is probably one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. Spider-Man means a lot to me, which is, it's you could argue it's pretty cringe to say that, but it's true. It's true. Spider-Man has been with me for the majority of my life. I grew up with the movies, shows, everything. Everything. You name it, I grew up with them. Bought the comics like crazy. I still don't have them all, unfortunately. But you know, I am a I am the Spider-Man guy. At least from, the circle of people I surround myself with. And I mean, I love superheroes and all that, like in general, but Spider-Man has been my absolute goat, my ultimate goat, perhaps my amazing goat, spectacular goat, my amazing fantasy. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, and I've been especially waiting for this trailer in particular. Wait, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Spider-Man: Brand New Day is probably my most anticipated movie of the whole year. And ever since that first teaser with Tom Holland putting on the suit and all that, I've been going absolutely crazy over this. I've been following every news, every leak, everything, every promo, ever since. From the talkies promo to the like little comic panel like art thing that they did with Scorpion and Tarantula and Hulk and all that. everything. I've been following this specific movie and just for one trailer for so long that the day is finally here. And I have been spending so much time on this specific video and this specific trailer for so long. I haven't even seen Invincible Season 4. That I was extremely excited about. I rewatched Invincible and everything, but when they announced not only like the little sneak peeks that they were announcing yesterday, which I'll talk about that in a minute, that they were gonna release the full trailer today, I immediately stopped everything that had to do with it Invincible, and I had to catch myself up with not only Spider-Man as a whole, but Tom Holland's movies specifically. Like, I binged all of the Spider-Man movies because I needed to get a good feel on all of this. Specifically Brand New Day. And, you know, like I mentioned, the little tiny clips that they were doing as like little marketing for the trailer, like building it up. I love it, by the way. I think it's really, really cool. I think it's what word can I use for this? Creative. It was creative, and it kept you on your feet because, like, for those that didn't get to witness the absolute glory that was the release of each of these leaks. Basically, almost like once every hour of the day, they would release these little like 2-second clips of the trailer, like not in any particular order either, and it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. Oh my god, bro. And hey, I'm supposed to be at school, but I got sick. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And as soon as I got the trailer in my hands, I was like, I need to do something with this. And I was originally going to make a reaction video, which didn't go well. So I moved to this format right here. You're all familiar with if you've seen my videos and all that already. Of just, pulling out Canva over here, my little buddy, my pal, and just making a little slideshow, cause why not? Why not? Also, I am gonna edit this. I don't know how much, but we're gonna see. I also need to eat. I have not eaten absolutely at all. That's bad. But yeah. Oh yeah. I was talking about the different recordings, and I did a whole bunch of recordings there, like 4, something like that, and none of them worked until I found out it was because I didn't have enough storage, which made me mad. Really, really, really mad. But we're here. It's actually working. Thank God. And without further ado, I am yapping, so let's get into it. We start off the trailer with a little moment of Peter just watching a video of MJ. My apologies. I thought something went wrong with my headphones, but we're good. So, we're back. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, the opening scene. So, we start off with Peter looking at a video of MJ and some of her college friends talking about how they got into MIT. Peter is depressed as hell because spoilers for No Way Home. Look, come on, I mean, you've most likely seen it, or you already know what happened in No Way Home. everyone's forgotten about Peter Parker. No one knows who Peter Parker is. And, you know, as you can imagine, he lost his girlfriend, MJ. He lost his best friend. He lost his colleagues. He lost the technology that was given to him by Tony Stark. He is as poor as they get. And, you know, he's independent. He's all of these things. But at the end of No Way Home, he left it be. He, instead of trying to find a way for them to remember him, you know, remember Peter, he kind of just left it alone, you know? Which was a really sweet ending and one of my favorite endings of all of comic book movie history, but I digress. And, you know, his opening kind of, you know, goes back to that. And being lonely, you know, not being able to, you know, return to Ned or MJ, especially MJ. And of course, as any man would. Also, amazing shot. I love the suit. This is not close enough. Also, the CGI looks pretty good. Like, some people have been saying that it's, like, absolutely trash. But I think it looks good, honestly. So, I don't know, I just wanted to make a mention of that. As any man should, he puts his phone in his pocket, he puts on the mask, and then he jumps off. And then dies. End of trailer. Just kidding. But no. Jumps off and does some good old-fashioned web slinging. Although it doesn't show the web slinging right after this, but we'll get to the web slinging later. By the way, as an opening, this is not only like insane levels of aura farming. I can hear my grandparents talking. I hope they do not open that door, because if so, I'm going to crash out. Okay, yeah, but as an opening, dear heavens, brother, this was awesome. As soon as I saw just this little sequence, like opening sequence right here, I was going crazy. I absolutely was. And then we get one of my favorite shots, which I will be seeing quite a bit, because this whole trailer is amazing. See what I think? But we get a shot of Peter's like eye mainly from inside the mask as he's like dropping down, which is unbelievably awesome, by the way. Like you get like the reflection of like buildings like in his eyes and everything on the lenses and everything. It's so good. I love it so much. Then we get the CEO of sex himself, Ned Leeds. Look at him. Looks like Billy Butcher, but with the Hawaiian shirt, the leather jacket, the glasses, bro, the rectangle glasses, the hair. God damn, bro, I can't contain myself. And you know, Peter was apparently on a phone call, which I'm willing to bet he was probably faking. Like, come on, let's be real, man. Peter's a genius. He knows how to stalk people. My goat. But you know, he's looking at Ned, who is I think they're in the same like diner. Or it's probably a different one than the one in No Way Home. Although the build does look different. The interior is different. I'm pretty sure those, like the glass, it's like behind Ned wasn't there. But I digress. We'll move on. And you know, you know, we will be seeing well, you know, if you're watching the trailer, you're gonna see a couple of moments where he's just like looking at Ned or MJ, whether it's, you know, at like in this little cafe here or diner, whatever, or at like a party, which will come up later. Just wait for that. So, you know, You're gonna see that in a little bit. Then we get a very simple but very nice like little scene that doesn't even last like 3 seconds, I don't think. Where, Peters is washing his suit, which for me, and I've explained this, I don't know how many times at this point because of all the fucking recordings. I like small things like this, where it's like Peter washing his clothes, or just walking and rehearsing like a little speech he's got going on, like he does in the trailer. Just normal things that humanizes him. Just just a day in the life of Peter Parker. Just doing casual things, like washing his suit, stuff like that. I really love it. Also, poor. Yes, poor. Now we get one of the more interesting parts of the trailer, in my opinion. Spoilers for people who haven't seen like Daredevil Born Again, especially. We see Spider-Man, as you can see, right here at the bottom, receiving a key to the city, which is very kind of goofy if you look at it. If you go blind and look at it, just see this absolutely no context. It's pretty goofy, but I'll move on. Web shooters. If you've seen Daredevil Born Again, you will recognize this madam right here. If you know who Kingpin is, Wilson Fisk, Spider-Man villain and Daredevil villain, she is basically his right-hand man when it comes to like the political side of things. I don't know if it was like vice president, something like that, or consultant. I don't know. I forgot what position she's in, because it's been a while since I've seen Born Again. But it's very interesting because it makes me think. Also, the web shooters, I mentioned them for a reason, but we'll get to that in a second. It makes me think that this is part of the montage that have been leaked like a while back, when like leaks of the trailer were coming out and all that, where the movie is going to start with a montage like catching us up on what Spider-Man has been doing this whole time, like beating bad guys like Tarantula and Boomerang, which we're going to see at the near the end of the video, and stuff like that. And it makes me kind of think that it's before Daredevil Born Again. Not only because, by the end of Daredevil Born Again, vigilantes are effectively outlawed and are being hunted down by the, was it Department of Damage Control? Yes. I'm so goated. But, it's not only because of the web shooters too, because as you're gonna see later on, Peter has organic web shooters now. Like they come from his wrist, like they do with Tobey Maguire. And we're gonna have like mutant like powers like type stuff going on with Peter, like they did for Tobey in Spider-Man 2. So makes me think, basically TLDR, this scene is probably a part of the montage of, the beginning of the movie. So, okay. Then we get probably one of the scenes that people have been most divisive on when it comes to the trailer. And it's basically Peter putting on his mask on top of a building and then jumping off. Right here. Bro's kicked up. But I would say divisive mainly because the CGI looks a little bit, I want to say ass or bad. Not even bad. It looks interesting. And with the AI being as good as it is now, people are calling like AI slop and all that, which I really don't see it being like that. Like, yeah, AI is very advanced. But it's advanced because it's copying itself especially like in the movie mediums and all that, off of like blockbusters and all that. So when you're calling something like this AI, you're just calling it a blockbuster because that's exactly what it looks like. And I feel like I'm yapping. But the point is, people think like the CGI doesn't look as good or like it's AI or something. To me, it looks fine. It looks good. It doesn't look like AI. It looks like an actual human being sat down and made this, or several, teams of editors and, all that jazz. So, yeah. Again, cake. I did not mean to zoom it into the feet. Oh, dear heavens. Oh my god, web shooters. I just saw them. Okay, yeah. We get into one of the aspects of this trailer that I think they nail so much, which is kind of part of what I was saying earlier with the washing machine and all that. It's just the feel of Spider-Man. Just being Spider-Man. Normal day-to-day things of Spider-Man. Especially the web slinging. The web swinging. Oh my god. Oh my god. Which reminds me a lot of TASM 2, which of course TASM 2 is effectively the blueprint of all this. Which makes sense. But I don't know, man. One thing that I've seen a lot of people, I don't know if it's even worry about, but it's more how they're gonna balance the aspects of CGI and practical effects. And I think they've been nailing it really good. And of course, you gotta ask yourself, as a Spider-Man fan, how are they gonna handle the the web swinging? I am going crazy. Which, of course you're gonna have CGI. But are they gonna go in like with the route of like the TASM movies where it was entirely CGI, or are you gonna go to more practical aspect of it? Like if you've seen like the teases and all that, like the more like the very start of like the teases of like Spider-Man Brand New Day and all that, where they were like filming in, was it Bangkok, something like that. I forgot specifically where it was, so feel free to correct me in the comments. But where Spider-Man was like chasing like a tank, which, yep. Which at least gave us an idea that most of the practical swinging was going to be the practical swinging. I'm so stupid, bro. By the way, for anyone that has never seen any of my videos before and this is your first time watching me, I never use scripts. I go crazy. I go full schizo. That's basically how it goes. But yeah, practical swinging. That was basically the whole point of that little small yap sesh. But as you can see here, it shows, Spider-Man chasing after a tank, which I forgot if it has the logo of the, I think it was Inner Demons, the group that was with that is related to Mr. Negative, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was part of the leaks. But I digress. It could be the hand too. Whatever. Oh wait. License plate acquired. At least half of it. And we got some shots of my boy Frank Castle, John Bernthal, the Punisher, baby. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Yet another TASM 2 reference with Spider-Man getting hit with the van, with Punisher's van, and this is something I am a little bit worried about how they're gonna handle the Punisher, and see if they're gonna set. Whoa! I always gave you a little Rick Sanchez burp right there. If they're gonna censor him a lot, which I imagine they will, because Spider-Man, it's mostly gonna be like PG-13. So, but I think also they're dynamic. I like it so far. Though back and forth, just rage baiting each other. That's pretty nice. And Frank getting his shit rocked right after Spider-Man just going through the windshield. I'm doing Spider-Man a lot. I can just call him Peter, whatever. Just slamming on like the front of the car van, like the window, and then just like propelling the Punisher through the back of the van. Such a cool shot. I loved it so much. And as soon as he was about to swear, he gets webbed up. Which I'm curious about how he's gonna fit exactly into the movie, if he is gonna be going after the Hand or perhaps the Hulk, like some leaks were saying. But I digress. Also, that logo is so cool. Oh no, here it starts, the cucking. Oh no, no, no! At least it's not Paul. Like I mentioned earlier within the video, there are quite a couple of shots of like Spider-Man, oh well, Peter himself, like looking at like MJ and like Ned, like keeping an eye on them, and a couple of things that pop up. I guess a very specific like showcase of like scenes and all that is of Peter at a like college party, something like that. I've never been to college because I'm a goober and I'm 16, so there's also that. But it's just like I'm getting a little bit of flashbacks to Paul. If you know, you know. And I am curious. I can't speak. I can't speak. I do wonder if in this movie Peter and MJ are gonna get back together or not, and I wonder how they're going to handle their relationship. But I digress. Okay. I don't think I've mentioned Man Spider, but as some of you or maybe most of you know, in this trailer we got organic webbing because Peter's powers are on the fritz. They're getting messed up, and his mutation, or by the radioactive spider, is acting up. Which, like I said, gave him organic webbing. It made him pass out, which is this scene right here. Or at least I assume it's the mutation. Like his powers that knocked him out. It could be Scorpion, like stung him too, so it could be that. But I mentioned that because he appears in a cocoon almost right after. A cocoon of webs. And also he's jacked up. Like my inner gay twink, like coming out, cause oh my god, Jesus Christ. But hey man, not only is this like one of my favorite parts of the trailer, and we do get a shot of like Peter ripping through like webbing that also one of his hands is black. I don't know what the fuck that's about. which does make me think we could get Man Spider, which for those who don't know is effectively Spider-Man when his powers mutate. He basically turns into this spider creature, like really big and scary and all that. Which I don't exactly know if we're gonna get Man Spider in the movie. I kinda hope not. Although if we do get him, I hope it's in a nightmare or something, like a vision. He maybe potentially grows like extra arms like he kinda does in the comics and the animated show and all that. But that's where that's the most we'll go. Cause having Man Spider, just a crazy humanoid spider creature in this movie would probably just be a horrible idea, especially for the tone and what they're going for. But I digress. We do get some Bruce Banner action, which I'm curious how we're gonna get Hulk in this. Like, we have heard that he is gonna be Savage Hulk, so we are gonna get, crazy Hulk, like smashing, like he should be. God damn it! But I digress for like the 60th time. And from the glimpses we see of these two interacting, Peter goes to Bruce to find out more about why his powers are going crazy. Like his DNA and all that, his the radioactivity and all that. And since, Bruce is really good in that aspect and all that, because, radiation and all that, makes sense. And if, Peter isn't MIT, which I still don't know, it might be the most obvious thing ever. Maybe I even said it in the fucking trailer. Bruce seems to be a professor, actually. And sometimes, like, every now and then in the trailer says, if your powers continue to change the way they are, or your DNA more precisely, it could be dangerous. Which leads us into a Looney Tunes like scene, in my opinion, where Peter is two things, because this little part is a little bit weird in terms of how it's shown. Is either slingshotting himself with his organic webbing, because you see the web shooters aren't there, or yeah, or how what other people think is going on here is he's fighting the Hulk, and he gets slingshotted, or thrown by the Hulk, which there is webbing right here, so it could be him slingshotting himself. But I don't know. I digress. I am still pretty curious and excited to see how they handle the Hulk in this. Look, it does kind of worry me because they don't really show him that much. Only Bruce in the movie. Actually, they don't show the Hulk at all. So I'm a little bit scared about that. Also, I'll mention it now, so I don't forget. I think this is around the time we get Tombstone, giving us a little speech about the cycles of a spider, and the fact that it could be dangerous, like, having their evolutions and all that, and their, specific cycles. But if they make it out, they can, come out way stronger than what they used to be. I'm pretty sure it was the 9 cycles or the 3 cycles of Spider. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Although I'll probably just watch it later and find out. Which we've just got. It's Tombstone, bro. Although I did see a couple of comments here and there that it sounds like Keith David, which is pretty accurate. and it made me laugh quite a bit. Though it would be very interesting if Keith David showed up, and I would not be opposed whatsoever. Which I'm also very curious to see Tombstone, because we don't get to see Tombstone at all in this trailer, and he is confirmed that he is in the movie, and there is a leak. Maybe you've seen it or not. Well, yeah, of Tombstone grabbing Peter, as Spider-Man, and dangling him over like a building or some like scaffolding, recreating one of Spidey's famous comic book covers. Well, I don't know if it's famous, but to me, it's pretty iconic. So yeah, I just wanted to make a mention of Tombstone, because I don't, there's not an image or anything I can attach him to, at least from the trailer. We do get this little like tiny like couple of glimpses of Peter. Also, by the way, like the first half of the trailer, he's got like a little speech going on about like, basically it's like a note about like, hi, you don't remember me, like I'm Peter and you used to know me, which is directed to MJ and Ned, obviously, which is a really cool speech, by the way. Also, I should have prefaced this way earlier. Go watch the trailer before you watch this, because it's a mess. I know, but yeah. So yeah, Tombstone of fucking May Parker, Aunt May, goofball ad, bro. And despite the jokes and all that, it's a really nice scene, and I do wonder if we're gonna see Uncle Ben. I really hope we get to see Uncle Ben, honestly, because not a single mention, So come on, man. Something tells me there's something missing here. I hope that's nothing too important. Okay, finally we're getting into the Sadie Sink stuff. So we cut to Spider-Man breaking open, I think it was a tank with an elderly woman inside that appears to be, to be suffering from mind control through, because of Sadie Sink's character. And you can see, the elderly woman transferring the control over from herself to the soldiers, and then to the guy from the ODC, the guy that's played by, I think, Tallman. What was his name? He was in a you know what I'm talking about. The guy, the person of color. I don't know, because I feel like you're saying black dude. It's like kind of racist. I don't know. I'm sorry. Which I don't have a screenshot of him, unfortunately. So forgive me. I'm gonna get crucified for this, but this whole little sequence here does probably make me think, and it's pretty obvious that Sadie Sink's character has to be Jean Grey. Like, come on, man. Like, for those that don't know Jean Grey, or don't know that much of Jean Grey, she is an X-Men member. one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful X-Men of the group, who not only has like mind control and like telekinesis and all that, she does tend to cross over a couple times with many Marvel characters, of course, but especially in the Ultimate Comics, she does tend to interact a lot with Spider-Man a lot. So I wonder if they're taking Ultimate Spider-Man as a inspiration in that aspect, but I digress. And I do like how it's an introduction to the X-Men, since for those who don't know, after Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, which apparently is going to be 2 Secret Wars movies, but I don't know. They're basically going to reset the MCU, and it's all going to be about the X-Men rather than the Avengers, which I think the X-Men are way better. But so yeah, this is interesting. Also, I've seen some theories that maybe it could be Misty Beck, the daughter of Mysterio, which shout out to Sammy Reacts, I think. I'm stupid. Was it Sammy Jr.? Something like that? No, Sammy, that man. Yeah. I'm stupid. I'm so fucking stupid. He was mainly he was like the main guy that I saw like coming up with this theory, which it could be possible, especially with these like little like monitors and all that. So could be. We get ooh, I'm gooning. We do get, thankfully, some shots of Michael Mando's Scorpion, which I am very excited to see. And he looks incredibly good. His suit looks pretty good, at least from the shots that we got, which is in the dark, but there were some leaks of it. So yeah, it looks good. I do wonder if he's gonna get a helmet or like a mask. I hope he does, and I hope it looks like the PlayStation Scorpion mask, but whatever. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Also, come on, Pete. The Huz is watching, bro. At least most likely is. And you can see the Scorpion is causing some havoc, some tomfoolery. In this little street over here. Oh, my grandparents being mad. Oh, per usual. We do get this little like cartoonish like little thing here where Peter apparently like messes up his webbing and webs up like a couple of pigeons like to his body. He's like panicking while like trying to get them off, and then like jumps off a building, which I thought was pretty goofy. And I'm pretty sure this was in homage to Miles in Into the Spider-Verse, because I'm pretty sure he does something similar, maybe just not to the same degree, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was a reference to Miles. I don't know, maybe. Funny scene though. And we get I'm such a whore for these. Some iconic recreations of Spider-Man panels. Of course, Amazing Fantasy, I think it was 27, which was already done in Homecoming. But, also this seems to be, spoilers for Thunderbolts, this seems to be on the same day that the Thunderbolts final battle was going on. Just the scenery and all that, just like the climate. Also, Yelena has been confirmed to be a part of this movie, so it could be. Also, he does have his web shooters, so makes sense. Could be. I wonder how much we're gonna see of Yelena, but whatever. We get yet another recreation of a comic book cover with Spider-Man fighting at least dodging Boomerang's attacks, which I think Boomerang looks really good. I was a little bit skeptical when the leaks of his design were coming out. I thought, yeah, I don't know, it looked a little bit off, but in the trailer, it looks much more natural. Rainbow. Okay. And then I'm pretty sure this is the last comic book panel recreation, I think. Maybe. Which is with Tarantula. Which, if I ever make like a video about Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, you will find out that I love Tarantula a lot. Tarantula is a really, really, really good villain. And I just gets left in the background for all of history. But he looks good. He looks great. They're apparently like fighting on like a little boat with a cop that has his blicky out, which buddy, that's not gonna do anything. But you know, you're welcome to try, I guess. Also, this does appear to be part of the montage I mentioned earlier, where he's fighting like villains and all that. We're catching up to what he's been doing, so you know, just wanted to mention that. Okay. I will need some people's help with this because I have no idea who the hell this guy is. At first, I thought it was a Scorpion. But then I was like, I don't know if that's the same skin tone as Michael Mando, so I have no idea. But it does show at least a guy being mind controlled by someone, his eyes going black and all that. So it is interesting. I wonder how they're gonna utilize the mind control thing. So yeah. And then we get some of the very last sequences of the trailer. It's finally coming to an end. Wow, I am extremely hungry. I cannot wait to get this done so I can eat. My God. We get the hand, which not only looks pretty comic accurate, actually, but we get this little sequence here where, you know, members of the hand are about to fight Spider-Man in like this prison, which I'm assuming is, you know, the hand is breaking out Scorpion, and that's how he gets out. Because, you know, Scorpion was in jail and all that. Which I don't know if we're gonna see Vulture too. Vulture, since you know, he is in prison, and I'm pretty sure his appearance in Morbius is not canon. So we'll see. And you know, the price as always, exactly how we like them. And then just starts aura farming, bro. Just with his webs, just all webs up the sword and breaks it apart. Oh my God! And then the back shots, bro. Oh my God, Spider-Man back shots, bro. Oh my God. And then I think this might be a recreation of another comic panel. I don't fucking know. Maybe. Which, you know, Aura. I cannot wait to see the action scenes, like the battles in this movie. They're gonna go so crazy. Because if you didn't know, this movie is directed. I'm pretty sure he's the director by Destin Daniel Cretton, which, if you're not familiar with his work, at least MCU wise, he has made Shang-Chi, Wonder Man, and I think he made something else, but I'm kind of blanking on it right now. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't Daredevil Born Again. Maybe he partially wrote like the script on it. I don't know. I don't know. I forgot Loki. But Destin Daniel Cretton is a man who knows how to direct, especially fight scenes. Also, if you didn't know, Jackie Chan's like team that like does choreography and all that did do they did help with this movie. So I can't wait to see just some little ninja action going on. I can't wait. It's absolutely gonna be awesome. But yeah. And then we get this the final like little scene of the trailer where Peter is at a college party. Like we saw earlier. The apparently he's been talking to Ned, which is nice. I wonder how they're gonna handle broke Peter Parker is speaking to the CEO of sex himself, but I digress. We'll see how it goes. And then MJ comes in, starts rizzing Peter up per usual. Per usual, makes sense. They are married after all, which yippee. And then she says the thing, your friendly neighbor, and as you can expect, Peter starts panicking and fumbles. And then we get a shot of the title. I'm pretty sure the title comes before this last scene. But yeah, astute observers will know that this is actually the title from one of the first teasers of Spider-Man when they showed off his suit. And that is because every time I try to screenshot title from the actual trailer, it wouldn't, it didn't want to cooperate with me on the fucking slideshow. So, yeah, this is what you're gonna get. Which also, by far, I think this is like the best Spider-Man logo we've had, like ever. Is that a hot take? Is it? I have no idea. But yeah, in that, ladies and gentlemen, was it? How long is this? How long is this? Oh dear heavens, I am sorry. This trailer was peak. It was peak. It's probably one of my favorite trailers of all of comic book movie history, bro. It's awesome. It absolutely slapped. Definitely worth the wait, honestly. Everything looks good. The CGI looks good. The suits, like the designs and all that of the characters are really cool. The feel of not only like Spider-Man and also New York as a whole feels really really good, and I know the character work is gonna be flawless in this movie because my boy Destin. But I can't wait to either we get a second trailer, like a final trailer, or we just get more marketing of Spider-Man Brand New Day as well, which I can't wait for. But I've been yapping for way, way too long. It was not supposed to be this long, especially because, I wasn't going that in depth, but, well, there it is, man. We've got like nearly an hour of recording, so is that. But I'll leave it there. Before I do go, if you guys would like, if I did more Marvel content, because I have been thinking about, making more like superhero stuff. At least while I was making this video. I'd be happy to, honestly, because I love Spider-Man. I love superheroes. And Invincible just came out, like the season 4 came out, episode 1 through 3. So I'm excited about that. And if you guys want, I can make a video on it. You know, let me know. Really, just let me know. And I'll see if I can get another tier list video out, cause I got 43 views, bro. Like, for like a normal person, that's nothing. But for me, that's crazy, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's the like my equivalent of a video like blowing up for me. So I'm really really happy about that, and I hope this video does well too. So hopefully. But yeah. Thank you for watching, especially if you watched all, all the way to the end, all the way to this part right here, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. And I hope I can, it's a promise I keep making over and over again, and I will continue to make it, because eventually I will. You start doing these things more frequently. I want to get these videos out more frequently with better, quality. I don't know how the editing is gonna look for this one, but I really want to make this work. Having YouTube be an actual thing for me. Finally joining the YouTube partner program, and I really hope I can get there one day. I really hope so. So thank you for watching, and if it's whatever time it is where you're at, day, night, middle of the day, I hope you have a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good night. Take care.